So we talked about Jalen Durham being in. We talked about Norman Powell being in. That leaves me with 2 spots left. And believe it or not, as crazy as this sounds, because like I mentioned, I'm usually a traditionalist. I'm a guy that, hey, if your team ain't winning, I don't give a damn about the stats. I don't care how good of a points you are averaging if the team is not winning. But who else am I gonna put here? You, Derek White? You ready to make an all-star? No. I would love to put somebody on the Magic. Paolo hasn't played his best season. Franz was out. Welcome back, by the way. Desmond Bain started off too slow. So they may be the only, man, I'm looking at it. They're the only true playoff team that won't be represented today by me. Huh. Michael Porter Jr., welcome to the NBA All-Star Game. I cannot believe that I am here making this statement, but the man has been so incredible. And you consider that the Eastern Conference just doesn't have a lot going on. This is where you can sneak in 26 points per game, 7.5 assists. Seven. He ain't doing that. 7.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 40% from three on 9 attempts. He has been ridiculous, just straight up ridiculous. Now, he does have the underlying numbers that make you say that, hey, he's not just a good stats, bad team guy, because the team is just better with him on the court. His basketball reference nicknames are MPJ, Showtime, and Never Swing the Rock. That's genuinely on his basketball reference. So MPJ, welcome in. Now we have one last spot for our Eastern Conference All-Stars, and I actually have 2 names here. I have Pascal Siakam, who we love, but you know what that saying looks like. And Karl-Anthony Towns. Candidly speaking, I have not loved this Karl-Anthony Towns season. We know the Karl-Anthony Towns offensive talents. That is without a question. Right now, he's at 20.9 points per game and 11.5 rebounds, 3 assists. The three-point shooting is starting to look better, but it isn't the 42% three-point shooter that we saw the last year or the year before that or the year before that. I'm ultimately going to give the nod to Cat. I don't feel great about it, I'm being honest with you, but I'll give it to Karl-Anthony Towns. And I'm sorry, Pascal, you're going to have to get snubbed. All right. So one more time through. Cade, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Scotty Barnes, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Johnson, Giannis, Jalen Duren, Karl-Anthony Towns, Norman Powell, and Michael Porter Jr. is my Eastern Conference. Now, out west, my goodness, somebody elite is getting snubbed today. Somebody elite is getting snubbed today. I'm going to start off with the locks. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's at 32 points per game, 6 assists and 4.5 rebounds. No words can be said differently about Shai that I haven't mentioned already. The efficiency this season, I mean, even though this is a streak that does not matter in the grand scheme of life, that 20-point per game streak still being active and being so very close to Will Chamberlain, I got to tip my cap to that. He's been incredible through all the injuries of his teammates, of a Dub, of a Hartenstein, of a so on and so forth. You can always count for Shai for being Shai. And that's even with the decrease in free throws, not just for him, but for the entirety of the NBA since the start of January. The team just went on a nice little run where they beat the Spurs, they beat the Rockets all within like a week stretch. And it's like, oh, okay, here's that team that just won a championship. Shai, shout out to you. Speaking of the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama's 24.5, 3 assists and 11 rebounds is obviously good enough. He is the best defensive player on the planet. He just had a game with my number 3 guy, Anthony Edwards, where they were going back and forth down the stretch. Anthony Edwards had a career night. And, you know, I hate when a player has a career night. And a crazy career night was almost 60 and it's all for naught. But I mean, Anthony Edwards was missing big Rudy Gobert in the back end, so they ain't really have the defensive infrastructure no more. But Wembanyama, Anthony Edwards obviously are here. And man, I just can't believe how good of a player he is and how good of a shooter he has become through his career, because that was not on the scouting report as a true rookie or as a freshman in Georgia and then coming in as a first overall pick. They said he was going to be bouncy. They said he was going to be flash, but they never thought he was going to be one of the best three-point shooters in ball, and he's been able to do that. Next, Nikola Jokic, obviously. I don't care about the games played. He's too good of a player to not having this. Maybe in real life he will have an injury substitute, but in the Kenny Beecham, small ball with Kenny Beecham ballot, I couldn't care less about him missing the amount of games he's missed, which I think at this point is just 10. 29.6, 11, and 12.5. Best player in the world numbers, best player in the world output and team. Next, we got the 2 guys in Houston, and Kevin Durant and Alperen Sengun. For a moment, I was thinking to myself, maybe Alperen Sengun is a maybe he is a bubble type of guy, but they missed him, right? He had a little stretch where he was out a few games, and you desperately saw that they needed a guy like Alperen Şengün out there. He's been great. Kevin Durant has been as consistent as possible. Somehow I still watch this team, and even though they have one of the best net ratings, they have one of the best defenses and offenses, I'm still struggling with it. I can't explain it any deeper than that. I'm still struggling with it. I feel like there's something missing, and I don't know if that missing thing is going to be the reason why I won't pick them to win a championship. But for an all-star ballot, those two guys have lived up to everything you could have imagined. Next, we got on the list Luka Doncic, 33.6, which is still nuts. Bro, there's sometimes Luka's going into halftime with 24 points. Just like, yeah, another day at the office with Luka Doncic. I know the discourse around Luka, it has not been the best. It actually has been pretty bad. But I'm going to say this again. When it comes to the Lakers, I think it's very important they don't use this deadline in panic, right? This is a team that Luka Doncic fell into your lap. And I feel like you'd be doing yourself as a franchise a disservice if you use some of your assets this deadline for a team that obviously is just far away. I think it's okay if Luka go out there and get his stats, the players that you care about, the Reeves of the world, the Bronze of the world, the guys that are under contract that you care, let them continue to get their cohesion a little bit and then use the offseason or next offseason too to really build the Luka type of team. This team sucks. Just straight up. This team is not very good, but Luka give you a night, LeBron give you a night, and sometimes that's enough. I still love watching Marcus Smart go out there and defend even in this older age. Next, we have D-Book. Now, for a minute, D-Book was a bubble guy for me. Which felt weird. I don't even really know why. I mean, maybe because the counting stats isn't as, I mean, it's 25, 6 and 4. The efficiency is down. He still can't hit his 3-point shot the way we know he could. But the team as a whole deserves Devin Booker representing them, because not only has Devin Booker been doing what I just read, those counting stats, he's completely bought in defensively. He's competing on each and every screen. He's competing on each and every night. The playmaking is something they desperately need. And when it comes to their half-court offense, he's as important as anybody, right? So sorry, Devin, that I even had you when I started this as a bubble. You see, I moved you up to the absolute lock. Shout out to Devin Armani Booker. Number 9 on my list is, of course, Steph Curry. And in this, again, is not in any particular order other than their current standings, right? Steph Curry is not the 9th most important player in the Western Conference by any means. He's at 27.5, 5 assists, and about 4 rebounds. It is so amazing that some of our old guys, between him, KD, Harden, Kawhi, Bron, all these guys are still having phenomenal seasons, even if all of those guys won't make my all-star ballot today. Steph Curry deserves everything and anything. So I'll move on to number 10, which is Deni Avdija. Another lock. We have right now, I'm at the 10th lock, by the way. There's only 12 spots. I'm on my 10th lock today. 26 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. This team, I think at this point in time, is about to hit 500, which is great for everybody involved. They're 1 game under. Drew Holiday just came back not too long ago. But the reason Deni is here is not just because of the counter stats. It's not just because he leads the league in drives. It's that this team, who basically had no offensive identity when it comes to the half court, needed Deni to do everything he's done on the season. He's lived up to it completely. I don't know how I could have an all-star ballot with that being the case. Them making the playoffs is so important for them. It's so important for me. So I'm hoping that they continue to do it and they continue to get people healthy around Deni so it won't just be the him show and letting him rock. I have 11 locks, by the way, because the last guy I have as a lock is Jamal Murray. The Denver Nuggets are 7-3 without Jokic. How is it even possible for that team to win as much as they have? Part of that is this guy, Jamal Murray, playing on a whole nother level. They're 8th in offense in the stretch, 23rd on defense. Honestly speaking, they're pushing a little bit above their weight. Opposing teams only shoot at 31% from 3 since Jokic went out. But who cares? At the end of the day, your job is to make sure that the tide does not flip when Jokic goes out. And I was the guys like, hey, we might see them end up falling into the play-in. They continue to win ball games. They're maintaining 3 seed without best player in the world production. And a lot of that is Jamal. It's Peyton. It's good that they do have Aaron Gordon and Brown back, even though both of them haven't looked amazing since they've come back. So Jamal Murray is my last lock.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.